Hi, welcome. Today we will work our attack. Of course, we have been studying all kinds of attacks, and in this case, we will work out our mating patterns. So today we will work the smothered mate. This checkmate is very common in all kinds of games. Of course, on the highest level games, it's not so usual, but the truth is that some of the patterns that we will talk today, I've already gave several times. I'm talking about hundreds times, and even on official games. So if you learn this technique, you will improve and you will win a lot of games with this pattern. So let's jump to our video. But before that, did you know that almost 87, it's true, 87% of the viewers isn't subscribed? And you know, we have a great thing here. Me and you, a good relationship. So why don't you like me? I'm a great person and I need you. I need your help. I need you to continue doing all of this stuff. I want to continue giving you materials, and my goal is you. I want you to reach the sky. I want you to be a master. I want you to be a better player and a better person too. To do this, you just need to subscribe, push the notifications on, and if you enjoy the content, push the like button because you're going to help a lot this channel to grow. So if you have any suggestion, please talk with me by chess.com or put some comment below and I will answer. I answer all the comments. So let's jump to our video. So when we talk about this, this pattern, it's important to know first what is the pattern and the concept. Well, the smothered mate is a checkmate pattern that we give checkmate with the knight. And the thing is that the opponent's king is trapped by his own pieces. So because of this fact, with just a check, we will be able to finish the game. So here, as you're seeing, if was black to play, we would be lost because, for example, rook here or even queen here or over there would lead to the finish of the game with a checkmate, with the kiss of the dead, for example. But here is white to play, and never quit, never resign. Believe always in your value, about yourself. Because here, with just a knight, it's possible to win the game in one move. You just need to push the knight to f7, and this is our first pattern. And the main pattern too. So you will want to reach this pattern to give the smothered mate. So why is this checkmate? Simple, because the king is trapped by his own pieces and the knight is giving check. Because of this fact, the game is over. I'm going to give you 3 mating patterns about this smothered mate, and I believe that they are the most common ways of use this checkmate. So the first position is this one, and you will have the position below to help you solve the 5 exercises that I'm going to put you to solve. So next pattern. So this is our next pattern, and here you are playing with black, and the truth is that this mating pattern is so common, so common, so common. I've won, I don't know, 6 or 7 official games with this pattern, and on my level, 2000, normally they don't let you give this checkmate because they resign. So here, of course, is black to play. So here we have first checkmate. So first we will play knight to h3, and the thing is that this pawn cannot take the knight because of the discovered check that we are giving to the king. So because of these facts, he cannot take and will need to play king to h1. After that, we have a beautiful way of finishing this game. And the move will be to sack our queen, because after queen plays to g1, the truth is that this king cannot take because the knight is here and we cannot suicide our king. So it's not possible by the rules of chess. So because of this, the rook will need to take the queen, and now we reached our last pattern. So knight plays to f2 and is checkmate. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And this is common. You will be able to win a lots of games with this pattern. So, third pattern. So we've already seen the basis, and now you know what is the idea. The idea is to trap the opponent's king on his own pieces. He cannot make any move. And then with the knight, we will be able to give checkmate. So here is white to play. And this is the other idea to give this smothered checkmate. So here, as you're seeing, this king is exposed. The medium is exposed. And the thing is that we will sack the queen again. And after that, again, this king cannot take because of the presence of the bishop. So rook takes queen will be necessary. And now the king is trapped by his own pieces again. So knight checkmate, again, our first pattern. We will reach always by some way this pattern, okay? So these are the three most common ways of reaching this smothered mates. Now we need to practice. So I collected 5 positions from official games, and in my opinion, those positions are very, very interesting. And the goal is that you think a little bit. You will need to put on pause, probably, if you think the problems are hard. Please put on pause, think a little bit, think the necessary time, and when you're certain of the response, put on play and try to answer, okay? So we will see 5 examples because comparing to the other checkmate patterns that we already talked, this one I think is simple. So I think we doesn't need so many patterns and the length of the video won't be so long. So let's go. So the first game, the first position is based on a game of Gioacchino, I think, Greco. It's simpler, Greco. And this is a simple problem, but if you need, put on pause, okay? So Greco was playing with black, and here is white to move. So white has made this move. And this will lead to a forced checkmate on 3 moves. So how can we force a checkmate, a smothered mate? Think a little bit. And did you see? Okay, the idea is first to play queen takes f2, and of course this king cannot take because of the presence of the knight and the bishop. And after king plays to h1, we have our third pattern. So try to do this exercise. What is the pattern? Is the first, second, or third and then first, okay? Because this will help you to figure out on your memory what you're seeing before. So here, this is our third pattern. So we will sack our queen. So after queen plays to g1, the king cannot take because of the presence of the bishop. So rook or knight will take, it's the same, and knight will give checkmate. For example, if rook had taken, knight to f2 would lead to a checkmate too. So very, very simple. Second example. On our second example, we are seeing a position that has been played by 2 of the best players of the world. So this game has been played on the year 2000. Oh, about the last position, this has been played in 1620. So it's quite an old game. So this one has been played at the year 2000, and here black has played this move. So it's a simple exercise too, and first try to figure out what is the pattern. Pattern is first, second, or third. So here, this is the third pattern. So we will sack our queen, and the king cannot take because of the presence of the rook. And after rook takes, here knight gives checkmate. So very simple, important for the expert players or candidate masters or even higher levels. The two last exercises are more difficult, so you will want to wait a little bit because they are quite hard. So third position. On our third position, we see a legend, Paul Morphy. So Paul Morphy was playing with Chauffeur. I don't have his photo, but and this game has been played in 1859. So it's an old game too, and I like a lot this position because Morphy will dance with his knight to give checkmate. This is more complicated a little bit. So first he will, of course, he's black to play. Black will play king to c8, and after that, this will lead to a forced mate in 6 moves. So let's see. We will need to dance with the knight to give this smothered mate. So first, we play the knight to c5. And the thing is that, okay, black has two different approaches. Of course, we will not consider this kind of stuff because he is giving up his queen. Queen here we take and queen here we take, so we won't be considering this kind of stuff. So if the king plays to d8, this is checkmate in one move. So let's assume that he plays king to b8. This happened on the game. Now we need to continue with knight check. And this dance with the knight is very beautiful because this will lead to a smothered mate. Because right now, of course, this king needs to play to c8. And after that, you need to think about your pattern. And in this case, you want to reach the second pattern. So if you have any doubts, you can go back to the video, see again all the patterns, and then return. Because this is so important for you. You will win with this pattern several games, I'm telling you. So let's continue. So here, the move will be knight to b6. And knight to b6 looks like we are repeating the moves because king cannot go here because queen gives checkmate. So king will repeat. But the thing is that before, the knight was here. Now the knight is here. What is the difference? The difference is that the knight is supporting a sacrifice for the queen on c8. Because of that, after queen plays to c8, black is forced to take with the rook, and we have our checkmate. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Paul Morphy was a genius. And checkmate in 6 moves. It wasn't so easy to give this checkmate, but now it will be. So we've reached our last 2 exercises, and well, I selected 2 complicated, 2 difficult exercises for you. These exercises are for the expert players, but for you that have less than 1,000, less than 800, you will be able to solve them. Of course, you will need to put on pause and think a little bit. So let's jump to our next exercise. So this one has been played by Miguel Najdorf. He was Soviet, but I've put it to Poland because he was born at Poland, and we don't know who was his opponent. But the thing is that this position is very beautiful because we can see all the potential for white. But I'm going to give you a hint. You want to give forced mate on 8 moves. It isn't easy. You want to first checkmate in 8 moves. So if you see the checkmate, you have a very high level because we need to think a little bit about the ideas. So first we need to see where are the problems for black. Of course, this square and this square are problems because the bishop is attacking and the knight is attacking. And the thing is that, okay, if I play queen to h5, I will be attacking with the queen. But the thing is that after this g6 will defend everything. And for this reason, queen h5 isn't the best move. So we need to figure out a different way of giving checkmate. And the thing is that here, the best way to give checkmate is to think that we have potential here, here, and we have potential even with the bishop and with the rook, because the rook has potential to attack on the king side. So because of this fact, we will start with a sack of the bishop on h7. And after king plays important. If the king takes the bishop, this will lead to checkmate too, because we have queen h5, king needs to play here, and after queen takes f7, of course, this isn't a smothered mate, but will finish on a checkmate too. Here we can continue, for example, with knight g6, because of this square, and we want to play rook to h3. And after, for example, knight c3, I don't know, something, king h6 to try to survive, I don't know. Here we can take with the bishop, and everything is falling apart for black. For example, here rook to e5, and after king plays to g4, we can continue with f3, checkmate. Of course, this isn't smothered because the king wasn't trapped by his own pieces, and we hasn't given the checkmate with the knight. So because of this reason, we won't be seeing this move. We've already seen. We will see the king to f8, and here the idea is very interesting because this kind of exercises will help you to improve the attack calculation, playing with initiative, and seeing the problems, the abilities of your opponents. So to the evaluation. So here we need to evaluate again the position for black. So the bishop is attacking this square, and right now the knight is still attacking the f7 square. So because of that, we will play queen to h5 because we are threatening to give checkmate. So here black will, I think this is the only move, because to prevent checkmate right now, because for example, if black played that, queen h6 will lead to checkmate. So this is the only move, and after that we will sack the rook. And well, this is completely amazing because right now white is sacking all the pieces, and this isn't finished yet. So after queen takes rook, now you already have your mating pattern. So how can you give a smothered mate in this position? It's very beautiful and brilliant the way as Miguel Najdorf has played. So here, the idea is just to sack the queen, because, well, the king cannot take because of the presence of the knight. And after queen takes queen, knight checkmate, and we have our pattern. Of course, this is slightly different, but the pattern is always the same, because the king is trapped by his own pieces. In this case, of course, we have a piece limiting the g8 square, and the knight is giving the checkmate. So let's exercise. This last one is the most difficult one. So probably this is for 2200 of rating, something like that. So this position has been played, okay, I forgot the name of the players. I don't know, but later I'm going to put on the comments of the video. I forgot to put the names. But this position is very, very complicated. And here, we are playing with whites. So how would you play this position? This is very complicated because black has played queen to h8. This is the first move. And now we need to think how to continue that. Because of the fact I don't have the names, I'm going to change here the screen. And yes, it's better like that. And now we need to think a little bit. How would you play this position? And this is hard, of course. Black has played badly. But to see the way of continuing this position, you need to see the smothered mate. And okay, if we evaluate this well, we will find that the king is trapped because the knight is very well placed. And we need to find a way of limiting this square to give checkmate. So first, white will attack the rook. And what is the idea? It's quite simple. If queen takes, queen plays to g8, and after bishop, this is a checkmate because of those two squares. So because of this fact, well, black has played like that. This happened on the game. So now we need to continue working the position of the opponent's king. So we will take b6 giving check. Of course, we will assume that this move won't be played because queen can take and everything will fall apart. So here, king will play to e8. And after that, let's think a little bit again. How can we continue this position? We don't have checkmate yet, but the position is completely won. And we want to threaten our smothered mate. So to do that, we need to evaluate that this square is available for the king. So how can we close this square? And use a new piece. Because if you attack with more pieces, you will be able to create more problems. So here, of course, rook h7. And now this king doesn't have any available square to play. So, okay, we can see our pattern. So after rook attacks the queen, we can continue with forced mate. So let's attack the king. So queen check, and after bishop plays to d8, we will continue with, of course, knight takes rook. And after pawn takes, just to show, if pawn takes, this would lead to a checkmate because the rook is preventing the king to advance. And here, black has played knight to e6. And now we have a very, very pretty way of finishing this game. Have you seen? How can we give the smothered mate in this position? Yes, queen takes bishop, another sack of queen, because here the king cannot take because of the presence of the knight. So knight takes queen is the only available move. And because of the fact that the rook is attacking those two squares, you just need to give a check. And this check is checkmate because the knight is attacking the king and the rook is preventing the king to go somewhere. So this was harder, but now you know how to give all kinds of smothered mate. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a quick video, but I think you already understood the three different most common ways of reaching this smothered mate. And we've learned that even the best players can lose with this checkmate. If you give this checkmate on the internet or on an official game, please tell me something, put on the comments. You can put your PGN file, for example, and we can talk about that. If we have material to do a video about your games, we can do a video and comment the ideas to give more material about this mating pattern. So tomorrow we will be back at the same hour to talk about more chess. If you aren't subscribed, don't forget to push the subscribe, like button, notifications, everything. And don't forget, any idea, please talk with me by chess.com, by the comments. You can always talk with me directly because I need always ideas to put here on this channel. So help. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you for all the help and support. And till tomorrow. Bye bye.